Hello to my collective of lovely, beautiful people. I am back with another message for you. Again, if you're seeing this video, it is because this video is meant to find you. I'm still a very small channel, which means if this is on your feed, it is for you, because I'm reaching no one right now, except for the people who are meant to see this. So anyways, on with the message. Ooh, I almost went blank. Change. And this might be a heavy message for some of you. It might be a hard concept to grasp overall. Sometimes we can get really stuck in our ways, and we grow up with certain patterns, or maybe we learn to be a certain way because of the things that we've been exposed to, because of the traumas that we've endured. And it is part of our conditioning. It is part of the human condition. We adapt to these different situations and these different circumstances. We learn to adapt to the struggle and to kind of adjust to get through it. And I feel like that's a very wonderful thing. It really is great. However, sometimes these adaptations, they tend to hinder us in a way. And not in the sense that it's bad to adapt and change to, essentially get through a hard circumstance. It's always a good thing to be able to adapt. But when these adaptations become stuck, that is when it becomes a problem, because your mind might relate one situation to a different one, maybe something you've gone through in the past. This is for people, I'm hearing that right now. You may be seeing a lot of 555. You might be seeing a lot of 222. You might be seeing a lot of 333. These are the numbers that I'm getting most right now in terms of this download. I'm also getting 1111. So if anyone out there just happens to be seeing these numbers, this is just a confirmation for you that you are meant to be told about this. And the premise of this is change. We need to be able to take a look at ourselves and think about where it is that we need to grow and we need to evolve. Which programs is it that we have, that we are living in, that may have been very suitable and very convenient in a past situation, but at this time it is not serving you. So you need to check all of these programs that you have and really think about whether or not they are serving you. And there might be some things that you need to change. For example, if you grew up in an area where you had to constantly be in survival mode, or you were constantly on watch because there were a lot of maybe sketchy people around you. Maybe you grew up in a not so great environment, and so you were constantly around people who weren't necessarily making great choices, weren't the kindest to others, those kind of energies. And maybe you learned to grow a certain shell. You learned to be very independent. You learned to take care of yourself. You learned basically that, you couldn't trust the people around you because you had to fend for yourself always. And the people around you weren't reliable. You could only rely on yourself. And so for the time being, when you were living in that situation, yes, it may have been very useful for you to have this hyper independence and for you to kind of withdraw from people because of the fact that, you didn't have the greatest people around you. And that's okay. You adapted to that environment in order to push yourself to move out of it. Again, this might be the same collective that I'm talking to about, weathering the storms that, brought in a lot of chaos, and kind of being used to living in that survival mode and adapting to all of that chaos. However, if you're in a space where you are safe And you are surrounded by a different kind of people. You are surrounded by much better energy. You're surrounded by love. You're surrounded by security. You can't have those same programs. You can't have the same mentality that you had before, because at this point, you no longer have to worry about being hyper independent and fending for yourself. You're moving out of the survival mode, babe. But it's almost like subconsciously, because of your programs, your body feels like you still need to be in the survival mode. You've got this like hyper awareness, which isn't a bad thing necessarily. And you've got like this hyper independence. And I'm just here to tell you that you are allowed to let yourself receive. You're in a time where you've gone through the moments where you've had to be in survival mode and you got through it, and now that you are safe, you are in a moment in time where you are meant to receive all of the blessings. It is karmic justice coming back around for you. All of the good that you've done, all of those moments that you pushed through, the universe is coming back to reward you for your goodness. And all of these trials and tribulations that you have gone through, they were meant to make you stronger and meant to leave you with a gratitude for this life and what it is and what it could be. And right now you're meant to focus on what it could be as opposed to everything that you went through. And I just need to say, stop rejecting help, okay? Stop rejecting gifts. Allow yourself to receive. Allow people to pour into you. Not everyone is suspicious. Not everyone has, horrible intentions. There's lots of people out here with wonderful, great intentions. And if you are in an environment or you're used to being around people that, were not the best for you, and you have these programs that you can't rely on them, it would make sense that you would move in a way where you feel like you can't trust the people around you. But pay attention to other people's actions and what they show you. That is the biggest thing. When people's actions match their words, they are showing you that they are reliable. And you don't have to sit there and think and wonder like, I don't know, And I feel like you're in a place in life where your discernment has gotten so much better. You are able to discern kind of the different energies around you, good intentions versus not so great intentions, and pay attention to the feelings that you get when you're around these people. You need to find balance at this time in your life. That's one of the things that I'm hearing about change. Being able to incorporate all the things in your life in a healthy balance. Do not become hyper fixated on making one specific area perfect and then neglecting another area. Don't worry about what you feel, what your life is supposed to look like compared to others. Never compare yourself, first off. But when it comes to finding that balance, find something that works for you. Find something that is sustainable. Tweak habits little by little. If you're trying to grow in certain ways or incorporate new habits, start with things that are manageable. Start with smaller things and grow to bigger goals, and slowly work these things into your life in a way that is sustainable. You can't do all at once, babe. You're not going to be able to incorporate all these things and change overnight. But it's mostly about finding a way that is sustainable and keeping to that consistency, and that is going to get you to where you feel you need to be. There's a cute ass dog. Oh my goodness. Hi! He just ran up to me. So precious. Where was I? Oh gosh, that threw me off. 222. So, another thing that I'm hearing, especially for the ones who are saying 222 a lot, one of the things that you really need to look at is where your attention goes. Where is your energy flowing? That is another thing that needs balance. That is also tied to this 333. Pay attention to where your attention is going, how that energy is flowing through you, where you are directing that energy. At this time, you're meant to refocus and redirect that energy. I'm also getting things about relationships. So you need to pay attention to your relationships at this time. And this has a lot to do with some of your old programmings and where you have been before. And when I talk about relationships, I don't just mean romantic relationships, although that's definitely a very big one in this. You might have been someone who has gone through some very traumatic or some toxic romantic relationships, dealt with maybe some narcissistic partners in the past, or maybe just some very manipulative partners. I'm here to tell you that you did what you had to do to get through those situations. Obviously, those things left wounds, they left certain traumas, and they also conditioned you in a certain way to kind of wear this shell over you to protect yourself so that you wouldn't get hurt as bad as you would have if you continued to be vulnerable in those situations. But I'm here to let you know that that shell is no longer serving you. That shield that you hold, the walls that you put up around you are no longer serving you, because you are no longer in a space where you need those walls. Yes, it is always good to protect your energy. I'm not saying let everyone and anyone into your space and your energy, but I am telling you that your walls at this time need to be semi-permeable, because the things that you are keeping from getting in, you're also sheltering yourself, and you're not allowing yourself to fully be yourself. You're not allowing yourself to feel the sense of security and safety that you need in order to fully express yourself and fully be yourself around other people. And so when you have this shell and you have this hard exterior, it makes it more difficult for you to fully be vulnerable and be who you are with other people. And when you're not able to really show your full face and really show who you are, it makes it harder for the universe to align with you, the people who are meant to be around you, the people who are meant to be there to support you, the people who are meant to be there to love you and care for you. Having these walls just keeps you from being able to reach those people and being able to attract those people in your life, because you're not putting out all of this loving and wonderful, charismatic. Maybe for some of you, you might be a little shy, you might be kind of reserved, and part of that might even be because of your conditioning. Maybe at one point you remember you used to be very outgoing and very charismatic, and you loved talking to people, but with all of these things, it might have shut that part off of you, where you felt you had to watch people and kind of see how they move before you really show who you are. And so you felt like you had to move a certain way around people. And I'm here to tell you that you do not have to put those walls up anymore. You are meant to shine. You are meant to express yourself. You are meant to feel safe in your skin and feel home within yourself and feel it in your heart and feel joy and happiness and acceptance with who you are, and just allow yourself to be fully authentic. And maybe you've noticed that in some ways recently you have allowed yourself to be a little more you. In this whole period of transformation and reflection and transitioning, I feel like you've definitely felt parts of yourself, maybe from the past, parts that you used to be very connected to, has maybe started to come back into your life. You've started to feel more of your authenticity trickling in. You feel like you're able to express yourself more recently. And I'm telling you to continue to follow that. Allow yourself to fully dive into that vulnerability, fully dive into that authenticity, and allow yourself to express yourself and attract like-minded, wonderful people into your life. Whew. God, that was a lot. Wow. It was just a constant stream. I don't know if you could tell by the way I was yapping. Gosh, that was definitely a long one. Wow. But yeah, just allow yourself to be you, guys. Honestly, that's really what you need to allow yourself to fall into at this point in your life. Allow yourself to receive help. Allow yourself to receive love. Allow yourself to receive love. You are worthy of love. Oh my goodness. This is a huge message that is coming in right now with blockages that you might have in this area of your life because of the past, because of all these traumas. You are worthy of love. You are an absolutely beautiful, wonderful, magnificent person, and you deserve the light that you put out into the world. However, you are not going to be able to receive that light, and you are not going to be able to accept that light into your life if you are constantly being suspicious of the people who are trying to love you, if you're constantly being paranoid, if you're constantly feeling like you need to protect yourself because you can't get hurt. You need to let this go. Everything happens exactly the way that it should be. The universe is always going to put you exactly where you need to be, whether it is to collect some sort of karmic reward or pay some sort of karmic debt, learn some sort of lesson, experience some sort of joy or fulfillment. The universe will always put you exactly where you need to be. And at the end of the day, babe, if things don't work out with whoever, you are going to be okay. You are always going to be okay because you are resilient and you are strong and you are so full of love and so full of all of this light and wisdom and kindness and nurturing energy. And you are always going to come out of the other end of all of your relationships a-okay. I promise you. So if things don't work out, let them not work out. If your partner doesn't choose you, let them choose elsewhere, because that just allows for them to remove themselves out of your life and make space for what is truly meant for you. And the greatest thing that we can do in terms of allowing ourselves to receive love in these relationships is to just allow things to flow. Don't force things. Make sure that you are always being true to yourself and communicating what you need. And also being open-minded and understanding with where your partner is and what they need. And yeah, at the end of the day, if it's not meant to be, that's okay. Maybe you were just meant to experience a short period or however long with said person, to experience certain joys, maybe to meet certain people, maybe to visit certain places, whatever it is, maybe even find certain pieces of music that resonate with you forever. But yeah, wow, it feels like the slate just kind of got wiped off my mind. I think that might be the end of the message, actually. The big theme of this, I suppose, would be change. In this time of reflecting, you're meant to change the way you move, change the way you view things, change the way you show up for yourself and in relationships. And I promise you, as you change the internal, your external will follow closely behind. Because the inside reflects what it is that you are seeing on the outside. Ooh, 2112. As I'm saying that, as above, so below, as within, so without, guys. It is the laws of the universe. Change your mindset. Change the way you show up, your programming, rewire your brain. Again, I just want to say thank you to everyone who is watching this video. If you found this message, I hope that it resonated for you. I hope that you are able to take some sort of wisdom or something good out of this. Maybe not everything in this video resonated with you, and that's okay. If you watched up into this point, you are a real one. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that. Go ahead and comment below if this resonated with you. I would love to hear about your lives and what's going on in the lives of the collective that I'm connecting to. I'm definitely very curious, so feel free to comment and introduce yourselves. Let me know what's going on. I don't think I've introduced myself yet, but my name is Giselle. I usually go by Zell. And I'm just so grateful and so happy to be here. And I am so glad to be able to share these messages with you. 2244. Confirmation that this is reaching the right places. Thank you so much again. I love you guys. You are just such a wonderful collective, and I am just so grateful. I love you. I will see you soon.